What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Monday Night Raw review from back in the olden days, as my grandpa used to say. I'm just kidding, he didn't speak English, but I'm guessing that's what he would say if he did speak English. But this is August 16th, 1993. We are 30 episodes deep into this. I never thought when I started this that I would actually be this far. I know I haven't gotten views on this shit, but whatever. It's something that I can come back to instead of actually watching the show. I can come back and listen to these recaps and be like, oh, I could check this out, I could check that out from the show. Instead of watching the entire thing, I have a reference point. So yeah, whatever. If nobody else watches this, at least I'm getting something out of it. So whatever. It is what it is. So this week they are gone from the upstate New York building, and I think they are back at the Poughkeepsie Center, or the Poughkeepsie Arena, whatever it's called. So hopefully those two bad shows will stay with that arena. Raw starts off with a match between the 1-2-3 Kid and Ted Dibiase, which is actually a rematch from the Wrestling Challenge show, where the Kid actually got the win. So Dibiase gets the jump on him as the match begins. Razor Ramon was on the phone with Vince and tells us that him and the Kid had a conversation to surprise Dibiase. He can't tell Vince though, because Razor knows that he has a big mouth and he'll go tell everybody. It looks like they fuck up that leapfrog spot, and this is like the third or fourth week where they messed that spot up in at least one of the matches on the show. But they were able to save it, and it just looked like 1-2-3 Kid hit a crossbody on Ted. By the way, Ted, what kind of first name is that for a wrestler? Ted. But as the Kid goes to the top rope, IRS runs out and pushes him off for the DQ. They start double teaming him, but then the Steiner brothers run out for the save. For some reason, they made this an uneven feud. Money Inc. versus Razor and 1-2-3 Kid was going to be all we needed. But they are still owed the rematch, so maybe the Steiner brothers will face Money Inc. before Razor and 1-2-3 Kid. Moving on, we have the Head Shrinkers facing some Jobbers, and they get the win after Samu hits a flying splash. These guys really need to start a feud with somebody too. They are too good to just be having squash matches week in and week out on Raw. Next, we have Bash and Booger taking on Marty Jannetty. Unfortunately for me, this isn't really a squash match because both of these guys are currently being pushed in one way or another on the show. So I did watch the full match, and as you would expect, Marty did all the work in this match. I will give Bastion credit though. It was close to a 10-minute match because of commercial, which adds like 4 minutes to what we actually see. And he was able to do all the spots in this match, and he barely looked like he was sucking in air. So good for him. But at the end, he gets flipped over and pinned. Jannetty picks up that win. Money Inc. then comes back out for an interview with Vince McMahon. They hype up their matches at SummerSlam. They also talk about their steel cage match coming up at the SummerSlam Super Show Spectacular, or whatever it's called, which is a show the weekend before SummerSlam. They are challenging the Steiner brothers for the tag titles in a steel cage match. Next up, we have Mom, aka Men on a Mission, aka, well, I guess that's it, or MOM, I guess. So if you ever hear me say Mom or MOM, it's Men on a Mission. Just a short abbreviation. They come out to take on some enhancement guys. They both come down splashing on top of their opponent for the win, and they sing and dance with the crowd to celebrate as we cut to another one of Lex Luger's sit-down interviews. This time he's talking about drugs and steroids. He admits to using steroids and drugs before they were illegal, emphatically and absolutely says he does not take them anymore, and makes a point to say that nobody is using them in the WWF. Who knows why he mentioned this? Just a great company guy, I guess. But that's the last we see of him on the last Raw before SummerSlam, where he's main eventing for the WWF title. Let that sink in. I have no idea why none of these Raws were treated any more special because they were getting close to a pay-per-view, especially one of the big fours like SummerSlam. Yeah, we only see Lex Luger, the number one contender, in a sit-down interview in a video package, and I'm guessing the crowd didn't even see this either, so I don't know. Moving on, we have Bam Bam Gigolo squashing some poor guy with a headbutt and picks up a win. I'm not sure what he's doing at SummerSlam, but he's been in a feud recently, so him getting a win against the Jobber isn't as meaningless as Adam Bomb having a random match on Raw. And then again, the Little Macho Man makes an appearance on Raw. He comes out with 4 women and they just pose in the ring. They end the show by promoting the SummerSlam Spectacular that is happening this upcoming Sunday, because they will not be having a Raw next week as they are getting ready for SummerSlam, which is actually happening on a Monday. So that was kind of weird. So there will be 2 weeks off before another Raw takes place. I think I should take 2 weeks off as well. Let me know in the comments if I should. Just kidding, screw you, I'll do what I want. However, stay tuned because we're going to the awards. For the best moment, I think I'm going to give that to the Steiners saving 123 Kid and finally setting up the title rematch between them and Money Inc. It's been a couple months since the Steiners actually beat them, so I'm happy that they're actually going to get the rematch. I'm probably not going to watch the match, but whatever. For the worst moment, the little Macho Man coming out at the end for absolutely no reason. And even I know why they came out, but they didn't even show the girls off in that manner, so again, I don't know why they even did this to end the show. For the worst match, I had Mom versus the Jobbers. I don't know why, but it seems like these guys don't know how to work. I haven't seen any of their matches so far because they've all been squash matches, but when they hit their finisher, it looks awful for the person taking it. But I guess that's what it's supposed to look like, right? For the best match, I'm going to give that to 123 Kid versus Ted DiBiase. Only match that had any real story to it. Sure, it ended in a DQ, but it was better than the rest of the matches on the card. For the wackest performer, I'm going to give that to Bastion Booger. Just listen to what his name is. No more explanation is needed. For the stand-up performer, I'm going to give that to Ted DiBiase. He cut a good promo against Razor Ramon, 123 Kid, aka The Kid, aka The Shtick Main, and the Steiner Brothers. And he also had a decent match, like I mentioned, against 123 Kid. So standout performer goes to Ted DiBiase. This ended up being a good show. Not great, but it wasn't as bad and pointless like the last two shows were. Middle of the pack level show, I would say, but it was still good. The next recap that I'm going to be doing for Raw will be in September because they are taking some weeks off. So if you notice the title's going from August 16th to September 13th, don't get scared and think I skipped any shows or that you missed any reviews. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. So with that being said, I'm out. I'll catch you guys next time.